Yes boys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be breaking down UFC 300, Alex Pereira taking on Jamahal Hill for the light heavyweight title in the main event, boys. This card is absolutely stacked, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, absolutely stacked from top to bottom. The first fight of the night is Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Cody Garbrandt for the first fight, boys. But before I get into the recap, betting recap for UFC Vegas 90, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment if you agree or disagree with some of your, some of my predictions down in the comments below. And yeah, boys, let's recap UFC Vegas 90 from a betting perspective, boys. So we lost minus 1.11 units on the night. So I track these as well. Look at our record here, plus 34 units on these bets this year alone. So it's going pretty good, but we lost, where do we start? So let's start here. 0.98 units we lost on these props. These props have been getting nerfed, man. They're getting worse. I need to, chill on these props, I think, from here on out, because, yeah, like, look at this run I was on. They've started to, nerf them, and they're kind of getting some of the money back that I won, when I first started doing these bets, but, we're still able to, win a lot of them. So I need to just chill on some of the bets that I place with these and not get overexcited. So it is what it is. 0.98 units isn't that bad, but yeah, these bets right here, man, I'm very disappointed in myself, ladies and gentlemen. We 0.13 units, lose small is very good. If you want to be profitable in MMA betting, you want to lose small. That is the key to winning in, obviously winning as well, but losing small is very, very important, boys. And I just feel like the reads I had in this card, man, they were so good. Like, my reads were literally so good on this card, and I'm just very disappointed to walk away with minus 0.13 units. I feel like I should be profiting on this card, and I'll explain why. I'm going to readjust my betting strategy, ladies and gentlemen. I think that I'm very good at picking out dogs. I think I'm very good at, reading dogs. I mean, look at this. Dan Argueta lost, but plus 170 was minus 188 midway through round 2. So that's a very good bet, even though it lost. Jermaine Durandamy, not a bad bet. She was like plus 100 at one stage. So it is what it is. It was an okay bet overall. Court McGee, plus 275. He looked like a plus maybe 110 out there, plus 120. So that's a very, very good bet right there. Charlie Campbell, solid enough bet. It was okay. I'm cashing a plus 300 underdog. I'm cashing a plus 140 underdog. But the one thing I need to adjust my strategy on is the chalk. So what I need to do is basically understand. I'm a value better. I bet on value. I don't always bet on the person who I think is going to win, just like Court McGee. I didn't think he was going to win, but I thought the number was off, and that, the fight clearly showed that the number was off. But for chalk, sometimes I get a bit overexcited. I see, chalk, and I kind of like, oh, this fighter's going to easily win, and I don't really, take into value with the minus sign beside it. I kind of just think, oh, yeah, he should win. So for next week, boys, I'm probably going to, change it up and not really attack chalk in terms of, I think he's just going to win and play him at, minus whatever number he'll be. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. I think I'm just going to, stick to attacking underdogs, attacking, bets that I think, personally, the guy is undervalued, if that makes sense. So, for example, I don't know who's on next week. Let's say if I thought Alex Pereira was going to win, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying if I thought Alex Pereira was going to win and he's like minus 140 right now, but if I thought he should be minus 250, which is like, I think it's like a 70%, I'm not saying this, by the way, I'm just saying this is how I'm going to change up my strategy. I will be betting Alex Pereira, for example, but because obviously I think he should be minus 250 and they're giving me minus 140, so yeah, that's how I'm going to attack chalk only. I'm not going to be placing as many moneyline bets because of this. So yeah, but I'm just very disappointed, man. Fight doesn't go to decision in a Melissa Dixon versus Cornwall was just an amazing bet. The over, that was a mistake, by the way. I had a parlay. It doesn't show the other half. It was Kavia over 2.5 and, Jermaine Durandamy fight over 2.5. But yeah, guys, I'm just kind of disappointed not being able to profit on that card with some of the reads I had. The Almeida read, I mean, that was just a perfect read by me. The Dan Argueta, very good read. I'm not, annoyed at myself for losing that bet, but, Alexander Hernandez, like, why am I betting Alexander Hernandez at minus 170? I don't understand what I was thinking, to be honest. So Yeah, you know, even though he, like, yes, okay, you can say that in hindsight, like, oh yeah, why are you betting when he lost? But, you know, in, like, retrospect, why was I thinking that he was going to cover that price tag at minus 170? I just don't understand that. So, yeah, my mistake was, if I can just iron out these tiny mistakes, we'll be winning so much more. You know, like I said, 57 units already this year and 107 overall. If I can just iron out these tiny little mistakes in my gambling strategy, we'll be able to, you know, crush the books even more than we've been doing this year. So, yeah, my mistake, guys. I mean, you know, I'm going to make mistakes. We will learn every single week in our wins and losses. So, yeah, guys, my bad for last week. But we lost small, so it is what it is. Good reads. And, you know, in the Morgan Sharia, you know, people still thought that was a bit of a robbery. So we kind of got unlucky there. But, yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys for my max bet video on actually I think I'll release it Monday or Tuesday. I put a lot of time and effort into this max bet for UFC 300 video, a lot of time and effort, and I think it's pretty funny. I think it's a good little skit, and yeah, I've just put a lot of time and editing into the video, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys then. Have a good day, and hope everyone cashed UFC Vegas 90. I will see you in the next one, boys. Have a good day. Peace. And our first fight tonight is going to be an absolute banger to start off the card. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be the first fight of the night, but if it is, wow, what a way to start out UFC 300. Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Cody Garbrandt in the bantamweight division. Deiveson Figueiredo, man, we know what this guy's going to bring at this point in his career, man. He was getting up there in age, but in his last performance against Rob Font, that was really impressive, man. The way he was able to just, you know, easily out kickbox Rob Font. I actually had a bet on Rob Font in that matchup, but I was like pleasantly surprised at how Deiveson looked at this new weight class at bantamweight. You know, moved up 10 pounds. He just looked so much better. His cardio held up as well, and he was able to, you know, outpoint Rob Font for the majority of the fight and just land the more damaging shots, land the harder shots, land the cleaner shots. And we know this guy has very good jiu-jitsu as well, with the guillotine to, you know, stop, people shooting takedowns on him, big power in his hands, and yeah, just a very, very good striker as well. His output isn't the best, but when he lands, bro, he is absolutely going to try and take your head off for everything he throws. On the other hand, we have Cody Garbrandt. Honestly, I've always kind of thought Cody Garbrandt was overrated. You know, his run was insane to the bantamweight belt, but if you actually look at who he beat on the way there, you know, not the greatest competition. And Dominic Cruz, people like, you know, act like that was an insane performance against a Cruz with tendonitis in both feet, and Cruz still won 2 rounds in all judges' scorecards. So I do think that was one of the most overrated performances in UFC history. I'm not trying to hate here, by the way. I'm just being honest. But yeah, you know, Cody Garbrandt kind of struggled, you know, in the past like few years here, but he's, you know, on a 2-win streak against Trevin Jones. Not the best performance, pretty boring performance. He's wrestled Trevin Jones for the entire, you know, 3 rounds, and then against Brian Kelleher, I mean, he got hurt, his leg was getting absolutely destroyed, and I think that could be a very, very good weapon for Deiveson Figueiredo to use in this matchup. I think the leg kicks are going to be there for him. I think that Cody Garbrandt, even in that fight, man, against Brian Kelleher, he was just looked so open on the feet, swinging, you know, from his hip. And I do think that Deiveson Figueiredo is going to be the more technical fighter on the feet, with the straighter shots, with, you know, the counters. And I think he's just more defensively sound at range to, you know, stop Cody Garbrandt from getting in that boxing range and, you know, lighting him up. Cody Garbrandt, I think that it would be smart for him to shoot some takedowns, get on top, because we know that Deiveson Figueiredo doesn't have the best takedown defense, but like I said, he has pretty good scrambles and pretty you know, good you know, subs to like stop the threat off the takedown for his opponents. But yeah, I think that Cody Garbrandt, you know, could wrestle here, get on top, and potentially win minutes and just wear out Deiveson Figueiredo as the fight goes on. But honestly, I have to choose Deiveson Figueiredo in this matchup. I think he's just going to be the better striker, the more technical striker from range, and I think that from that, you know, kickboxing range, he's going to be able to outland, out-jab, and kind of just out-kickbox Cody Garbrandt for the entire 3 rounds. So give me Deiveson Figueiredo by probably by second round TKO in this matchup. I think the leg kicks will be a massive factor in this fight. And our next fight is going to be a bit of a throwback fight here, you know. Bobby Green taking on Jim Miller. Surprised these two have never faced each other, you know, if you look at how long they've been in the UFC for. But Yeah, Bobby Green, this guy in his last fight got absolutely nuked by Jalin Turner, and there's no shame in that. Jalin Turner's a guy with big power in his hands, huge for the division, absolutely massive for the division, and, a solid enough prospect on the rise in the lightweight division, even though, he's kind of lost to Dan Hooker and stuff, but, he's a solid striker, and Bobby Green, we know what this guy's going to bring. Was everyone in this card, we know what they're going to bring at this stage in their career because they're such, well-known names in MMA. Bobby Green has that boxing style, very fluid on the feet, that loves to roll with shots with his shoulders. A lot of people's, hands land on Bobby Green's shoulder. He's very good at, being able to, roll with punches very well, and his jabs, his straight punches down the pipe, his range is very good. The way he's able to, understand range in the boxing exchanges is very good. But Jim Miller, on the other hand, Jim Miller, this guy has nasty leg kicks. I mean, this guy kicks like a mule, bro. And very good jiu-jitsu as well, and big power in his hands, like a very surprising power in his hands, even at this stage in his career, man. Jim Miller, 2-fight win streak, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, so he is has some momentum coming into this fight, but I do think that Bobby Green will be able to land just the cleaner shots, the better shots as the fight goes on. I think this does go to decision. I just think that the boxing exchanges will be too much for Jim Miller, in my opinion. Jim Miller, if he is able to get those leg kicks off, which Bobby Green is susceptible to, I do think he can have success in this matchup. I don't think he has success wrestling Bobby Green. I don't think he can really submit Bobby Green unless I just don't. Maybe like a club and sub situation, hurts him and then maybe submits him, gets his back, chokes him out. But I just don't really see that happening. I think that this is going to be like a more a tit for tat type of striking exchanges on the feet, and I do see Bobby Green being able to get the better of those exchanges on the feet. Jim Miller defensively isn't the best, so I think that Bobby Green's straight shots down the pipe will be able to win him the fight as it goes on. So give me Bobby Green by decision in this matchup, but you cannot count out a dog like like Jim Miller in this matchup, not at all. And our next fight has to be Jessica Andrade taking on Marina Rodriguez. Haven't really done much tape for this fight, I'll be honest, guys, but Jessica Andrade, again, we know what they're going to bring at this stage in their career, man. She's got big power for women's MMA, tries and takes her head off with basically every single punch she throws, comes in with that kind of blitz style with the running forward with the hooks. Not very technical, but it works because obviously in women's MMA you don't get punished for making as many mistakes because there's less power in those weight classes. But against Yan Xiaonan, she got found out in that matchup with her style, man. She came running forward, swinging those hooks, and Yan Xiaonan circled off to an angle and just absolutely just put a right hand, I think it was, on Jessica Andrade and put her down, and the referee said no more. So I do think that there is massive technical flaws in Jessica Andrade's striking for sure, but she is very physically imposing for 115, especially very physically strong for the 115 division. And on the other hand, we have Marina Rodriguez. She's very good at Muay Thai, man, very good in the clinch with her knees, very good on the outside, very good kicks, Muay Thai striker, really. Doesn't really look for takedowns. Her takedown defense is it's not great, but it has been improving over time. But in this fight, man, I think that this is a very hard fight to choose, to be honest. I don't have a good read. Maybe it's going to be, it might get better as, next week goes on. But yeah, Jessica Andrade, she is going to have the physical advantage by far in this matchup. She could get against defense here, working Marina Rodriguez against defense, but I think that Marina Rodriguez from range with her kicking ability is going to have the advantage in the striking aspect in this fight. So I am going to go with Marina Rodriguez to have the better Muay Thai on the feet, have the lengthier attacks, and have the crisper striking in this fight. So give me Marina Rodriguez by decision, but I'm not very confident in either fight. If I was going to pick anyone in this matchup, I don't have a strong read on this fight, to be honest. So yep, it may get better as the week goes on, so stay tuned for more. Maybe I'll do like a final prediction on Friday next week, so stay tuned for that. And our next fight is going to be Jalin Turner taking on Renato Moicano. This is a very fun fight in the lightweight division, boys. Jalin Turner is, very big for lightweight, man. This guy is absolutely huge. I think he's like, how big is he? 6'3"? Yeah, 6'3", 75.5-inch reach. That's insane, bro. And he cuts, I think it's like 35 pounds to make 155 pounds. So this guy is absolutely huge. And on the feet, man, he's very, very good, man. He uses his range very well. He uses very good kicks from range as well. I absolutely love the teep kick to the body, especially in this matchup, man. I think that the teep kick is going to be money in this matchup against Renato Moicano. You're going to say, Renato Moicano may be able to, catch that kick and utilize it for like a single leg takedown, but I just don't really see that being able for him to be, catch that in time and wrestle on that single leg. I just don't really see that happening. So I think that Jalin Turner is going to have a massive edge in the striking department, the power advantage, and just the athleticism in this matchup. Renato Moicano, man, in his last fight against Drew Dober, I was kind of salty, I'll be honest, boys. I had absolutely loaded up on Drew Dober live at like plus 200. Drew Dober was absolutely killing him on the feet, and Drew Dober, overcommitted and got taken down, and basically he lost the fight from there. If Drew Dober had just had a bit of fight IQ about him, I fully believe Drew Dober would have won that fight, but yeah, it doesn't really matter in the end. Renato Moicano, man, solid enough boxing on the feet, but it's not great. Defensively, really, really bad on the feet. Really bad on the feet. And his cardio isn't really that good either. That's where, you kind of beat Jalin Turner. You kind of out-dog him. He's got that dog in him, to potentially, outwork, just out-heart Jalin Turner. He has been susceptible to quitting in the past. He kind of showed that in that Dan Hooker, for a glimpse in the end of the second round there. But yeah, Renato Moicano, man, if he is able to get the takedowns, if he is able to backpack a guy like Jalin Turner, I think he could be able to get a submission in this matchup. But I think that Jalin Turner from range, man, is going to be able to light up Renato Moicano and find a very, very, very early finish in this matchup. I think that Jalin Turner in the first round is going to be able to light up Renato Moicano with the harder shots, with the cleaner shots, with the the straighter shots down the pipe, and utilize his range early on. So I'm going to go with Jalin Turner by first round knockout in this matchup. I do feel pretty good about it because that teep kick, man, that teep kick is just going to be able to, it's going to allow him to utilize that range, and his takedown defense is pretty solid. His get up game is pretty solid as shown against Mateusz Gamrot. In my opinion, I actually thought he beat Mateusz Gamrot on damage, like everyone should really, but I like Jalin Turner in this matchup. Our next fight tonight, the people's people love this guy, Diego Lopes, man. Sodiq Yusuff taking on Diego Lopes. I'm not gonna try and be an ass about this, man, but I'm not very high on Diego Lopes, man. I'm not very high, but I'll break down Sodiq Yusuff first here. Sodiq Yusuff, man, very good on the feet, pretty technical on the feet. Some solid power as well, as shown in his last fight against Edson Barboza. I actually had a bet on Sodiq Yusuff in that fight. Very annoying that he just blew out his shoulder in the first round and then couldn't really do much because he was only fighting with one arm. I was like one of the first people, I swear, that saw that, because obviously I was very focused, and why was Sodiq not using his power hand in that matchup. And then it comes out that he had a effed up shoulder. I actually put in the comments, the way fighters will react to their loss, or say thank you for the support and stuff. I asked in the comments, did you tear your shoulder? And he said, he replied to me and said, yeah. I said, what happened to your right arm or something like that, and he said, yeah, my shoulder effed up, or torn or something like that. So that is a bit of a question mark. He's making a pretty quick turnaround, right? 5 months, had a really bad shoulder 5 months ago. I don't know if that's gonna be fully rehabilitated, but yeah, Sodiq Yusuff, man, very good on the outside, very good striker, pretty good wrestling as well if he wants to implement that, but I don't see him doing that in this matchup against a guy with the jiu-jitsu of Diego Lopes, man. Diego Lopes has massive power on the feet, massive just a wild man in the octagon. Very fun, but I do see massive technical flaws in his in just kind of everywhere, to be honest. I think that he does settle for guard too much, as shown in that Evloev fight, and as shown in that Joe Anderson Brito fight. If you guys haven't seen that, his Dana White Contender Series fight, it was a lot like the Evloev fight. Joe Anderson Brito just took him down, kind of just stayed on top, was put in a bit of tricky situations with the knee bars that Diego Lopes likes to go for, but in the end, you're not really going to submit guys with knee bars and, heel hooks at this stage, or in this, at this level at a high clip. And I do think he kind of plays guard too much, but I don't really see Sodiq Yusuff pushing the wrestling here in this matchup. I think that Diego Lopes on the outside will have the big power advantage. I just think he has the more finishing upside. If Sodiq Yusuff is able to get out of that first round, I do think his chances go up massively. Diego Lopes doesn't have the best cardio. He does slow down as the fight goes on. I do think he is very overrated, to be honest, but I think that Sodiq Yusuff doesn't have enough danger to, stop a guy like Diego Lopes. Like, you kind of need danger, danger versus danger, in my opinion, to beat a guy like Diego Lopes, and I just don't see. I think that Sodiq Yusuff also has a bit of a chin issue as well. Been rocked in multiple fights, been hurt in multiple fights, and I think that Diego Lopes will be able to, catch Sodiq Yusuff on the chin pretty early on here and put him away in the first round, but would not be looking to bet Diego Lopes at chalk money here. I just don't think he's. As good as what people are saying. So yeah, I do like Diego Lopes in this fight. And our next fight is going to be Holm taking on Kayla Harrison. This is a very interesting fight, man. Kayla Harrison making her way into the UFC, and she's cutting. I mean, she's going to have to come in with this fight with one arm or one leg or something like that, because I do not know how she's going to be able to make this weight, man. It's crazy. But yeah, Holm, man, we know again what she's going to be able to do at this stage in her career. She's going to get you against the fence, wearing you against the fence. That's kind of what she's been doing, in the later part of her career. But in this matchup, I think that's going to be a massive risk against, judo. I think she won Olympics, didn't she, in judo? So I think that's a very... It's not... I wouldn't be doing it. Yes, you're going to say, what about... Ronda Rousey, she was like a judo Olympian, but I just I think that Kayla Harrison has way better striking than and she's way more physically imposing as well than Ronda Rousey. I think that just Ronda Rousey, she had a lot of holes in her game, and I think that obviously women have gotten better, and that was kind of found out as time went on with Nunes and stuff beating her as well, destroying her in the first round. But yeah, enough for Ronda Rousey. That was so long ago. Holm, man, very good kickboxer. She won, I think it was Boxing World Championships as well. I don't know what kind of level that was at, but, she was very, successful in boxing. Very good karate style, good on the outside, good kicks. But I think that Kayla Harrison, like, with the size advantage and the strength advantage in the clinch with the forward pressure, I think that she will be able to get Holm against the fence, wearing her against the fence, and look for takedowns and get on top. I don't think she finishes Holm. I'm not that impressed with Kayla Harrison, man. I think that Nunes would just, just punch a hole through her, to be honest. I mean, if they made that fight, maybe they make that fight, maybe, Nunes might, the UFC might say, I'm gonna offer you a bike here to fight Kayla Harrison here, but I feel like Kayla Harrison on the feet, very robotic in her movement, very plotty forward, but she does have solid cardio, man. She does have a very good ground game. But if she isn't able to get the takedowns in this matchup, I do see Holm being able to outstrike her pretty easily, to be honest. But I think that she's just very physically imposing for this weight class. I think her forward pressure is gonna be able to get to Holm, but Holm has very good lateral movement, so it may be difficult for Kayla Harrison to track her down and take her down. So I don't know, man. This is a weird fight. There's so many question marks about both sides, but I am gonna go with a safe pick on Kayla Harrison to get this job done by decision in this matchup. And our next fight is going to be Calvin Kattar taking on Aljamain Sterling. Very interesting fight. Calvin Kattar coming back after that, leg against, who was it? Arnold Allen, I'm pretty sure. Really bad knee injury. I don't know I don't know the extent of it, but he's been out for a year and a half, and he's coming up against a wrestler that will be looking to take this fight down. I do think that Aljamain Sterling will be able to get the takedowns, but let's break down Calvin Kattar first. Calvin Kattar, man, very good boxing, very good range as well. Knows when to strike, knows when not to strike. Pretty good chin as well. Very, very good cardio as the fight goes on, and usually gets better as the fight goes on. Is able to pick up a pace and stay to a consistent pace throughout the fight. But I think that Aljamain Sterling in this matchup, I think this guy's so underrated, man. People cannot get over the Yan thing. Aljamain Sterling, man, this guy even on the outside in this matchup on the feet, I think he has a chance to beat Calvin Kattar on the feet here. And Aljamain Sterling's gonna have better cardio coming into this matchup for sure. Not cutting to 135. He's gonna have better cardio. He's gonna be able to wrestle at a higher pace for sure. 3-round fight. 3 rounds definitely favor him in this matchup. And I do think he is going to be able to get the takedowns, get the back off Calvin Kattar and choke him out at some point in his career. We know that in this matchup, in this fight career, in this fight, I think that Aljamain Sterling just has a nasty back take. I think that he will be able to, utilize the fence here. He doesn't even need a takedown. He doesn't need the takedown to get your back. So I think that, Aljamain Sterling in this matchup, even on the feet, man, his switching of the stances is going to cause problems for Calvin Kattar. I think he has the more diverse striking with the kicks, with the teep kicks, with some of the flashy things he throws on the feet. And I think that Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to win the minutes here as well. Like I said, with the wrestling, he's going to be able to push a pace, moving up in weight class, will be, absolutely killing himself to make 135. So I do like Aljamain Sterling in this matchup quite a lot, man. I think he's going to be able to, I think he's going to make this fight look pretty easy, to be honest. I just don't really see why Aljamain Sterling would, I think Aljamain Sterling is going to be either all the way in to, get the clinch, look for a takedown, try and get Calvin Kattar's back, or he's going to be all the way out on the kickboxing range. I don't see him being, in that fully, boxing exchanges, going to, he's not going to be able to outbox Calvin Kattar. Most guys aren't going to be able to outbox Calvin Kattar in the featherweight division. So I think that Aljamain Sterling has many paths to victory in this matchup, and I just like him at minus 125, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I think that Aljamain Sterling's very underrated, man, and I do like him in this fight to win by submission round 2. And our next fight is going to be Jiri Prochazka taking on Aleksandar Rakic. Very fun fight in the light heavyweight division, and this could be a potential number 1 contender fight for Aleksandar Rakic, but I doubt it. I think that if he wins this fight, he should probably fight Ankalaev. But yeah, anyway, here Prochazka, man, this guy's an absolute wild man. In his last fight, lost to Alex Pereira on the feet, so there's no shame in that, but he was having success in that matchup, and he was kind of taking over in that second round, landing big shots on Alex Pereira. Actually hurt Alex Pereira at one stage, started to flurry, put it on Alex Pereira, but, kind of got over was it zealous? I think I'm looking for the word, kind of just ran in a bit too excited and got clipped on the chin by Alex Pereira with that left hook. So there's no shame in losing to Alex Pereira. I actually bet on Alex Pereira in that fight. I just thought Jiri Prochazka was too open on the feet. But yeah, Jiri Prochazka, man, very just wild on the feet, big power, very different angles, a hard guy to train for sure. He's like a Tony Ferguson type off the light heavyweight division, Just a weird guy, very weird guy, very just an interesting style to watch, very fun style to watch. His timing is also very offbeat. It's very you don't know when he's going to strike, a lot of feints and stuff. So he's just a very hard guy to train for, very hard guy to make a strategy for. So yeah, I don't really know. He's a very hard guy to break down, man. Very good elbows, very good. He's able to fight on the inside, able to fight on the outside. Good kicks, good teep kick to the body, wild strikes. He's just very diverse in the feet. And on the other hand, we have a very different style of striking. Aleksandar Rakic, way more technical than Jiri Prochazka. He's gonna be able to. He's going to want to look for the leg kicks. He's going to want to look for some of the kicks on the outside. He's going to try and keep it crisp with his boxing, with his striking, and just be the more technical fighter in basically every fight he's in. I actually am very high on Rakic, man. I think he's very, very good, and I think he could be a potential champion in this light heavyweight division. I think he absolutely destroys Ankalaev. I think this guy makes Ankalaev look like a clown in there with him, because the leg kicks that Aleksandar Rakic throws are nasty, and I think the leg kicks in this fight are going to be the biggest story in this matchup. I think that Aleksandar Rakic, he's probably looked at the Alex Pereira fight, and Alex Pereira was chewing up that leg off Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka wasn't even checking anything, wasn't even trying to check anything, and I think that Aleksandar Rakic has some of the best leg kicks in MMA, arguably on the same type of level as Alex Pereira, man. What he does to guys' legs, just brutalizes their legs, and I think even in the boxing as well, he'll have the crisper strikes. I think that he will be able to understand the range on what to fight at against Jiri Prochazka. And I do like him a lot in this fight. I just think his technical ability is just way beyond Yuri Prochazka in this matchup. And I think that he's more well-rounded as well. I even think on the ground he could potentially win minutes as well if he looks to wrestle. But but on the feet, man, I just like his technical ability in this matchup against Yuri Prochazka to win this fight. Probably by knockout, I think, second round. The leg kicks add up. Just the overall damage from the first round will probably add up. I know I'm picking Aleksandar Rakic by TKO. I did say that. But I just think the style, Yuri Prochazka is going to bring the fight. This will be a fun fight, and I do think Aleksandar Rakic will get the better of the exchanges on the feet. So give me Aleksandar Rakic by second round TKO in this matchup. And I mean, this fight, man, Charles Oliveira taking on Arman Tsarukyan, boys, for a number one contender fight. I mean, this fight is gonna be an absolute banger, man. It actually could be a snooze fest. I mean, if Arman Tsarukyan gets him against the fence here and potentially just lays on top of him, not really doing much for the entire 3 rounds, I could see that being a possibility off the way, Arman Tsarukyan wins this fight. But yeah, Charles Oliveira, man, this guy is so fun to watch. A wild man, will march you down, doesn't care what's coming back, and which kind of, is a bit of a... it's a bad sign, but it's also it works for him because we know that this guy's nasty on the ground, so people don't want to go to the ground with him. But I think that Arman Tsarukyan, if he drops him, I think he will. His ego seems to be very big, and I think his top pressure as well will be able to be very heavy on top, not really have many openings for Charles Oliveira to exploit. On the ground and potentially throw up some legs, look for an armbar, something like that. So I do think on the ground he will be able to win minutes there. But Charles Oliveira, man, will march you down. Very good Muay Thai, man. This guy's improved so much in his striking. He has a lot of heart now. Yes, early on in his career, he's quitting quite a lot, but even at this stage in his career, man, he's getting dropped, he's getting hurt, but he's able to get back up and just march you down once again, and able to find finishes on you after getting hurt. So yeah, Charles Oliveira, man. I don't know, man. This fight's just hard to pick. I want to be biased for Oliveira, but I think I'm going to have to pick Arman, man. I think that Arman's just going to be able to... I think he'll make this fight a snooze fest, like I said at the start of this breakdown, man. I think the Arman's just going to put him against the fence, wiring him against the fence, not really engage in any of the striking whatsoever, and look for takedowns, get on top. Be very, very heavy on top, leave little space on top. If you watched Trey Ogden versus Kurt Hillebell the other week, I think it's going to be like similar to that. Where Arman Tsarukyan's just putting a lot of shoulder pressure on Charles Oliveira on top. Charles Oliveira has a solid, a very solid get-up game, but I think that Arman Tsarukyan's just going to be able to, crush the space on top and win this fight by decision. But honestly, if I had to bet this fight, I'm picking Charles Oliveira all day in the betting aspect. all the value is on Charles Oliveira. I think that all the finishing equity is on Charles Oliveira as well. So maybe Arman gets on top and just smashes him from top, but I think that could create openings for Charles Oliveira on the ground to snatch up a triangle from bottom or potential arm bar or something like that. So I don't really know if that's a good idea for Arman Tsarukyan to look for the grounding point. Even Islam Makhachev wasn't really doing that. Arman's more of a ground and pound type guy, but what I mean, Islam was trying to get past the legs off Charles Oliveira for a lot of the fight. So yeah, I'm going to go with Arman Tsarukyan by decision in this matchup. Not confident. Would probably bet Charles Oliveira if I had to bet this fight, but I'm probably just going to watch as a fan, to be honest. Our next fight is going to be Bo Nickal taking on Cody Brundage. I'm going to spend a minute here. Bo Nickal's going to win this fight. Bo Nickal has probably better striking. I think he has way better wrestling. Has probably better cardio. I don't really see how he could have worse cardio than Cody Brundage, but it is possible. We don't know this guy's cardio at this level. Cody Brundage is very dangerous early on, so there is a slight chance that Cody Brundage could clip Bo Nickal on the chin. This is a step up in competition for Bo Nickal. Cody Brundage has done okay in the UFC. He's not terrible. He's not good. He really is not good, but he's not absolutely horrible like Val Woodburn or the people that he fought in the Dana White Contender Series. Cody Brundage would beat all those guys, but yeah, Bo Nickal should win this fight. Not going to spend more time on this fight, man. And our next fight of the night is going to be Justin Gaethje taking on Max Holloway for the BMF belt. So cringe. But yeah, the only belt that Justin Gaethje can win. Sorry, I had to just add that in. I gotta get slandered now. But yeah, Justin Gaethje, man, this guy's an absolute warrior, man. So fun to watch. One of the most, probably the most fun guy in the sport to watch. Big power on the feet, nasty leg kicks, will exchange when he's not really meant to exchange, and I think this fight's going to be an absolute war, ladies and gentlemen. People are acting like Justin Gaethje is going to go in here and just light up Max Holloway like it's going to be nothing. Like, come on. When has that ever happened to Max Holloway in his entire career? Max Holloway, this guy has the chin. I don't even know. He's like titanium chin. I mean, insane chin. Never been dropped. I think he's absorbed the most strikes in UFC history and never been dropped. Only been really rocked once in his entire career against Dustin Poirier. And I think that Justin Gaethje will probably win this fight. I think the leg kicks are a big story in this matchup. I think that, Max Holloway has struggled with leg kicks as shown in, his fights against, who was it? Volkanovski. Oh yeah, who was it? Yeah, it's only like one of the best fighters to ever live, but, yeah, you know what I mean? Volk is more of a guy that, won't really, load up on those kicks. He won't, really telegraph them as much as Justin Gaethje. So there is an argument for that. But I think that, Max Holloway is not going to be able to check those kicks in times. And even if he does try and check them, I think he's just going to be able to, I think he's just going to take the full brunt of the kicks anyway, to be honest. And I think that Justin Gaethje, he has a very good coach in Trevor Whitman. I think that Trevor Whitman's probably telling him leg kick, the entire camp. And I think that there is a possibility that, he does find a finish on Max Holloway later on in the fight. The damage adds up and the referee says, no more. But I think that Max Holloway has a very good chance, man. If, Justin Gaethje, goes back to like what he was, brawling type style, I think that Max Holloway can win this fight all day, man. His volume's better, his forward pressure's better, he doesn't have the power advantage, which is a worry in this fight, but Max Holloway, man, this guy's so tough. Out brawling a guy like Max Holloway is basically like impossible, really. And we have seen, Justin Gaethje breaking fights, not in him quitting, but he has broken in fights for sure. Eddie Alvarez broke him with, just overall damage got to him with a knee and hurt him badly. And then Dustin Poirier also, kind of broke him as well. So he is breakable, and I do think that Max Holloway has a chance to win this fight in the later rounds and potentially, get a late round finish. But I think the overall size advantage for Justin Gaethje, the power advantage, the leg kicks of Justin Gaethje as well, and he's been more tactical in his last few fights. So I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje to win this fight by decision. So yeah, give me Justin Gaethje by decision. And our next fight is going to be Weili Zhang taking on Zhao Nan Yan. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, Weili Zhang, man, very, very, very good, man. Probably one of the only women I really enjoy watching, I'll be honest. Just being straightforward here. Weili Zhang, good on the feet, very good on the ground, and very aggressive on the ground. Looks for, good ground and pound, good wrestling. And just overall very good in all aspects of the sport. Been improving on her wrestling recently as well. Working with Cejudo. She hasn't been working with him recently, but ever since training with Cejudo, her takedowns have gotten so much better, and she's kind of just improved on that ever since. And she has a lot of momentum coming into this fight, man. Beating a girl like Amanda Lemos, dominating her. Having a few 10-8 rounds in there, arguably, beat Carla Esparza dominantly, and then had a nasty KO against Joanna. I'm not going to say that second name. Joanna Jacek. I think I was right there. But yeah, Weili Zhang, I think in this matchup against Zhao Yan, I'm going to say Yan, man, I can't. Yeah, I think that in this matchup, she's going to have a massive wrestling advantage in this fight, man. Yan is a very good striker. She's very technical. Her output is pretty solid. But I think that Weili is going to be the more dangerous fighter on the feet. And I think the wrestling is going to be the it factor, if that makes sense, in this fight. I think it's just going to be a massive discrepancy in the wrestling. Jan was taken down by, Mackenzie Dern. She was taken down by Carla Esparza. Yes, Carla Esparza is pretty good, but I think that, Weili Zhang, man, can have a lot of success in the takedowns in this fight, man, and basically control Jan and, stink up the card going into the main event. So, going to go with Weili in this fight. I'm not going to try and break this fight down anymore, man. And on to the main event of the evening. Alex Pereira taking on Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill for the light heavyweight division title. But yeah, so Alex Pereira, man, this guy has insane striking. 2-time division glory kickboxing world champion in 2 weight classes. Massive power in the feet. A left hook, the best left hook we've probably ever seen. Maybe the most dangerous striker we've ever seen in the UFC. Has amazing power. The leg kicks aren't telegraphed. Just everything about him on the feet is very good. But I do think the defensive capabilities are very, very poor in this matchup. Especially, I think that he's going to be exposed in this fight, man, for that 1-2 that you just cannot see ever. Even against bums that he's sparring, man. Bums are literally hitting this guy with a 1-2. So, yeah, I think that Jamahal Hill, I'm just going to say it, man, I think that Jamahal Hill runs through him. I really do. I mean, I think that Jamahal Hill goes in here and just lights him up from the word go, man. I really do. Maybe from not the word go, but I do think in the second round, I think he has the cardio edge as well in this fight. Alex Pereira in his last fight, man, I just didn't like what I seen. And like I said, if you guys watched the Jiri Prochazka versus Aleksandar Rakic breakdown, Alex Pereira was getting absolutely tagged up in that matchup, and he looks so much slower in the light heavyweight division. Jamahal Hill's going to be the better striker. I don't care. Jamahal Hill's going to be the better striker. He'll be the more technical fighter in this fight. He's going to have the more power. He'll have the way better speed as well in this fight. And the 1-2, I love his 1-2 in this fight. I love the way he extends it. Like, it's a very long 1-2. It's not like he has to be like within range to, potentially get hit by the left hook as well. So I think that Jamahal Hill is going to be able to just starch Alex Pereira out cold in this matchup, man. I think people are overrating, underrating Jamahal Hill's chances in this fight massively, man. And I think Jamahal Hill has the better striking, the more technical striking, that he's the faster striker. Maybe his power is slightly overrated, maybe, but Alex Pereira is chinny. He is chinny. He gets rocked a lot in fights. He has been KO'd in fights, and I think that Jamahal Hill just... the leg kicks are a worry for me. On the Jamahal Hill side, I think that Alex Pereira, we knew that Jamahal Hill has that very wide stance. You can hit Jamahal Hill with leg kicks because he has a very wide base on the feet, which is a worry. But I think that Alex Pereira, I think the speed, the overall technical ability on the feet in MMA, I think that Jamahal Hill is just way better, man. I do, not way better, but he is better, man. I do. And even if the fight extends, I think I rely on Jamahal Hill as well to have the better cardio, to be able to outlast Alex Pereira as the fight goes on, and even win this fight by decision. But I think that there's no way this goes to decision. I'm going to go with Jamahal Hill first round knockout in this matchup. So there you guys have it. There was my breakdowns for UFC 300. If you guys enjoyed that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel massively, boys. And yeah, really looking forward to this card, boys. Yeah, I cannot wait, man. Absolutely banger pay-per-view card. One of the best pay-per-views we've ever seen in the UFC. Probably the best pay-per-view we've ever seen in the UFC, and likely won't see another pay-per-view like it for another 10 years. So enjoy it, boys, and I will see you in the next one for my betting podcast on Tuesday, my max bet video that I will be releasing as well. I put a lot of effort into this max bet video, so stay tuned for that, and my best bets video on Fridays like always, boys. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, boys. Peace.